I can't tell you how much I love to make fun of this motorcycle. Do you want all the looks with none of the work? Then boy, does Honda have a bike for you. Yeah, I like it just fine.
You want me to stand there so you can see the...
No, I think we're good. I'm just gonna have you stand there. I'm gonna stand over here.
Okay.
All right. God damn, the problem is I suck at cameras, Bert. I'm good at talking. I'm bad at cameras.
I tell everybody I don't get paid to spell. I get paid to sell.
My man.
Because I can't spell worth it.
What's up, weirdo? Shade Research in here with the one and only Bert King at the very aptly named Bert's Barracuda. Also owner of Bert's Black Widow. Also owner of the soon-to-come Bert's Black Pearl.
Done deal.
That's what I love to hear, man. All you Indian and Triumph boys who've been jealous of all these Harley guys partying and having a good time at their dealerships, well, come here pretty soon in Fort Myers. You're going to have your chance.
That's exactly right.
But we're here for a different reason today. Although I don't need much of a reason to come up to Bert's, there's always an event here. There's always something going on. Bert is giving away so many things for this current charity that's benefiting homeless veterans, bridging the gap and getting them to a place where they can have an address and collect their well-deserved, well-earned VA benefits. Bert is giving away $140,000 worth of prizes.
Say that again.
$140,000 worth of prizes.
No BS.
Multiple fishing trips, all expenses paid, coming down here to Florida, going out on the boat with myself, Bert, Cammy Bay, Shay Lisi, and of course the captains, who are always a good time.
Absolutely.
Catch, cook, and clean, coming back here, having the amazing chefs over here at Cuda cook it all up for us. Multiple motorcycles, custom paint jobs on your bike, or maybe just a bike you buy off the floor here at Bert's new body shop.
That's exactly right.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take a chopper tank up here for Bert to paint. I got
Come
a couple.
on.
Yeah, all the information and the links to grab your ticket. Prizes coming up. Myself and Gunnar are going to be doing live streams with Shay Lisi soon, so grab your ticket now. All that information and the link to buy tickets will be down below at birchsalutetoamerica.org. Bert's can come up with 140 grand of stuff worth the giveaway.
I'm even giving away a little Serial 1 e-bike.
Do another e-bike trip, dude. That was a blast. Bert can come up with $140,000 worth of stuff to give away. I don't know what I'm going to donate to the cause or what I'm going to give away, but I'll think of something. We've got a previous star, not talking about Kenny here, but talking about that green Sportster chopper back there. And some people might say it's not a chopper because it's not chopped, but I will tell you, those people probably aren't a lot of fun at parties because I think that's a cool bike. After I did the video on it and everyone showed a lot of interest in it, Bert being, I won't say an asshole, but I will say has a sense of humor, goes, well, guess what? Nobody gets it except for somebody who wins the bike. He goes, I'm gonna give that thing away instead. Bert ain't gonna let it go down the street to a winner without it being tip-top, absolutely perfect freaking shape. None other is working on it than our man Kenny, the man who built Road King Kong.
That's exactly right.
Very first bike that we ever gave away for charity with Bert's Barracuda, my man Kenny back here, the Gibson clan, the Mini and Very. That guy back there, somebody is winning that chopper, and I'm pretty stoked about it. And that started out life here as a used motorcycle, and you guys know that I love to come peruse the section of used motorcycles. I love to window shop, and a lot of you guys love to window shop with me. A fair few of you take it a lot further than window shopping, so let's see what other fun and varied machines old Bert's got sitting outside the dealership right now. Probably won't get taken away from you and given away. Probably. No promises. Act fast. The Honda Fury. Not just a Honda Fury, but a Honda Fury in bright banana yellow. I can't tell you how much I love to make fun of this motorcycle. And it might not be for the reasons that you think. I don't like to make fun of this motorcycle because it's a bad bike. I don't like to make fun of this motorcycle because it's every inch a poser, even though I hate that word. I don't even like to make fun of this bike for the reason it most deserves it, and that's that this is actually a 2023. They've made this bike unchanged for so long, it's ridiculous. ridiculous. I like to make fun of Honda Furies because Honda Fury owners have a sense of humor like a German prison guard. Tragically, every Honda Fury fan was born without a sense of humor. Luckily, they don't have dick for style or taste either. All jokes aside though, the Honda Fury is actually probably the best example of a factory chopper that I've ever seen. The whole idea of a factory custom was something that Harley-Davidson really invented back in the day with the FX series. They took what the aftermarket was doing with their bikes and they just sold it like that on the showroom floor. And what the aftermarket was doing with their big twins back in the day was putting Sportster suspension on them and stripping everything off of them, so they started selling them like that, and thus the Super Glide was born. And ever since then, the whole idea of a factory custom has been much maligned and crapped on and made fun of by all those dudes out there making their own customs in their garages. And the Honda Fury is definitely not immune from that. And even though I like to throw rocks at the bright yellow banana bee's nest of Honda Fury owners, I have to admit that this is probably the best example of a factory custom that any motorcycle manufacturer has ever made. The lines are all there. It's got the lines of a chopper. The frame is clean. Like, you don't ever see a neck this clean on a factory bike. And they came right off the showroom floor like this. This bike, besides a windshield and a small leather bag, is completely stock. And besides a couple of brake lines down there, the fact that Honda managed to get the neck of this bike that clean and look that good is nothing short of amazing. Normally that part of the bike is hiding all sorts of electronics, and it's got little pieces of plastic up there to cover up the electronics and clean it up. And it's just a really ugly part of the bike. Having the front of the bike up and out like that, being a very distinctive chopper look, even though this bike isn't a chopper because it wasn't chopped. The fact that they made it look like this, the fact that they were able to do that is really, truly amazing. And it makes the Fury a pretty unique bike that is actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, if you can get past the whole factory custom thing and you don't care about that, this is a really, really neat motorcycle. You just don't see bikes that come like this on the showroom floor. Not even Harley-Davidson has offered anything with a frame that looked that clean on the showroom floor. That's always something that has to get done later. And Honda just did it all for you. Again, that's why people don't like them, and I think that's why Honda Fury owners have zero sense of humor. But if you don't want to do the work, baby, you got it right here. The bike is undeniably clean. But that's enough yapping about the bike. Seeing as I talk all this crap about Honda Furies, Honda Fury owners, and all this stuff about the styling, I have an admission to make. I've never actually ridden one. So let's put a couple miles on this thing and see what it actually rides like. Knowing Honda, it's probably amazing. Oh, about white trash with money, dude. I'm just white trash without money. I'd love to see what it's like to be white trash with money. It's a bike that's emulating a chopper, but the fact that it's so well engineered that it completely defeats all the principles behind an actual chopper. 2,200 miles, 2023, they're asking 11 grand for this thing. You can't deny the fact that it's a Honda, it's gonna be an amazing bike, and the VTX 1300 motor is just stout as hell. Well proven, amazing motor, and immediately I'm on it, and yeah, this doesn't handle like my choppers at all. Dude, this thing just looks like it would immediately have so much front end flop on it, and you get on it and it handles like a perfectly fine motorcycle. Again, this is engineers making a chopper. You're defeating the purpose. That also just makes it the perfect motorcycle for someone who loves the look of a chopper but doesn't want to have to deal with all the headaches that I do. And when I start to think about them, I guess it actually makes a lot of sense. Electric start, that's gonna go every time you push the button. Fuel injection, ain't gotta worry about carburetors. Handles like a dream. No weird geometry or front end flop or high speed death wobbles. And speaking of high speed, it's actually got guts, unlike any chopper I own. The Honda Fury is just it really is just such a funny bike to me. It occupies such a special time and place. Like when it came out, it was during the heyday of like fat tire dad choppers. They were everywhere. And when you look at it, you can tell. It looks like something off a TV show. It's like, hey, do you like watching Orange County choppers? Are your weekend plans always heading out to the local burger joint for bike night? Do you want all the looks with none of the work? Then boy, does Honda have a bike for you. The Honda Fury is literally the mechanical version of Steve Buscemi walking up and saying, hello, fellow teenagers. The Honda Fury is a 49-year-old dad in a Hatebreed shirt wearing cargo shorts at Disney with his kids for the first time. The Honda Fury is the bike equivalent of a 45-year-old mother of two in Boise, Idaho, signing up for pole dancing classes. It's a motorcycle that so desperately wants to be cool, and it's written all over its face. It's the very definition of a try-hard. And like Joe the Mountain Jedi says, Honda Fury owners' skin is so thin you can see what they had for lunch, which is really the only reason I like to make fun of them. It's actually a really nice bike. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, we can call it a try-hard, you can call it a fake chopper, a factory chopper, you can talk all the crap you want about the Fury. And I will continue to talk crap because I'm a shit disturber and I don't know when to stop. My grandpa always told me I'd die laughing at one of my own jokes, and I really didn't know what he meant till I got my first tooth knocked out. So while I will continue to be a thorn in the side of the Fury community, I will tell you this. If you think this bike is cool, who the hell am I to tell you it's not? Who the hell is anyone to tell you that this motorcycle isn't cool? How dare they? If you get on a Honda Fury and you feel like a badass and you have fun and you like it and your friends think it's cool and you show up to your local burger joint and everybody asks you what it is and you're having a good goddamn time, who the hell is anyone to tell you that this motorcycle isn't a chopper and it's not cool? You can tell them all to get fucked. In that case, I'll say that the Honda Fury is like packing 2 inches of angry pecker between your legs. Who you gonna make happy with that thing? Me, that's who. Listen up, baby. As long as you're having a good time, who am I to tell you no? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. You buy that Honda Fury, baby. You go out, hit the bike night, rip her wide open, all right? Some of the stuff I think is cool, I definitely wouldn't talk about in a public forum. I have got absolutely no business being the arbiter of what's cool and what isn't. And cool is just so subjective. Man, just make yourself happy. If you were thinking about getting a Honda Fury and then you saw some people making fun of one and you decided you didn't want one because you thought it wasn't going to be cool because you saw all the cool chopper guys making fun of it. Oh no, not the cool chopper guys. Oh, not the guys with the mullets and the distressed vintage Carhartts. Oh no, serial killer glasses and a 19-year-old girlfriend covered in shitty barbed wire 90s tattoos. Oh no, the chopper boys won't think I'm cool on a Honda Fury. Like, shut the fuck up, dude, and make yourself happy. If you wanted a Honda Fury and then you saw all the cool chopper dickheads making fun of it on Instagram and that made you not want one, I don't think anything's gonna make you happy. The Honda Fury is the myth of the female orgasm. The Honda Fury, the official bike of racing your girlfriend to orgasm and beating her every time, falling asleep and snoring before she even has time to bust out the Hitachi. It's all about making you happy, and if a Honda Fury makes you happy, don't let anything stand in your way. And knowing Honda Fury owners, they don't. Okay, back at Bert's Barracuda on a different day with a different shirt. Kind of hard to mask continuity issues with these Hawaiian shirts, but that's all right. I don't feel bad about it because the motorcycle's still here. So I hate making a video about a motorcycle here that's already gone. Sometimes it happens. I can't help that. Sometimes they go really fast, but it is still here, so I don't feel bad at all. So what we're gonna try to do today with Bert's used motorcycle selection, well, used metric selection, of which there are many. We've got V-Stars, we've got Honda Magnas, can't believe that BMW is still here, by the way. Like I said, if I had the money, I would buy that motorcycle. But all the motorcycles are so vastly different. We're gonna do 3 different styles that are about as far away from each other as you can get. Wait, what? Doing my pan and scan, I just noticed that it uses the exact same stock air cleaner from the Yamaha Bolt. Not that it matters, it's just kind of funny. All right, back to the pan and scan. Well, gang, if I had to pick a motorcycle on the lot that was in the used metric section of Bert's Barracuda that was as far away from a chopper, even if it's a factory Honda chopper, as you could get, it would definitely be the Yamaha Royal Star Venture. This is an odd one for me because, honestly, it's probably my favorite looking fairing on any motorcycle ever. Yamaha went ahead and took Harley's Shark Nose Road Glide and took that to the extreme. Now, if I was going to have one, I like it without the tour pack, pack. I believe it's called the Eluder without the tour pack, bagger looking version of this. I just think it's such a great looking motorcycle. My favorite fairing ever. Like I said, my favorite fixed fairing I've ever seen on a bike, period, end of story. I think they look so good. A lot of people are gonna hate them, but baby, I'm a maximalist and I love it. Now getting into the engine, and this is where it's gonna leave some people cold and make some people happy. I just think that the previous generation that they left behind of the V4 and the Yamaha Royal Star, I think they should have continued with that. It was one of the last V4s in a cruiser, the last 4-cylinder cruiser motorcycle that you could get. And even though Honda still offers a V4 and a sport touring bike, I can't help but kind of hold a grudge against Yamaha about finally giving the axe to their famous V4 engine based on the VMAX in a cruiser. I just would have loved to see that engine get advanced instead of replaced with, to me, is a more boring engine like the V-twin air-cooled. Yeah, if you like big inch air-cooled V-twins, you're gonna love it. But I would have much rather seen Yamaha go more towards like the Victory Challenger and just done away with heat sinks, cooling fins, and the looks of the engine, made it completely liquid cooled, no cooling fins on the outside, and just built like a monster V4 that made like 200 horsepower, but wrapped in this. That would have been a bike I don't think I could have resisted buying. I love the way this motorcycle looks. I think it's super freaking cool. I've never ridden one, and I'm really excited to jump on it and see if it feels as good as it looks. The Yamaha Venture, well, Royal Star, whatever you want to call it. The Royal Star, which has been a name that's been around for a long freaking time, man. It's got a 113 V-twin. I don't know a ton about it. I know that Yamaha's been making it for a long time, so it's a known quantity. It's a proven engine. Like I said, I just wish they would have kept the V4, especially hurts because I love this motorcycle. I think this is, in my opinion, such a cool looking bike, the coolest fairing and lower fairings of any touring motorcycle on the market. In my opinion, of course, which I'm sure will not be shared by everyone. Got a good sound to it though, doesn't it? It has the power you would expect. I don't mean that in a bad way, but just getting on it and cracking the throttle wide open, it's exactly what I would expect. It feels like a Harley Davidson. We'll tell you, it doesn't just feel a little bit like a Harley Davidson. It feels a lot like a Harley Davidson. Insanely comfortable, perfect touring position. I'm comfortable with where my feet are. I got great back support. I immediately get on this thing and I feel like I could ride it all day long. And in fact, it makes me want to leave right now and ride all day long. Trust me, I'm all about riding weird, unlikely bikes long distances and being uncomfortable and getting the reward anyway, but I also have absolutely nothing against being in the lap of luxury on a big grand tour like this one. It's nice, dude. I can't even lie. This is nice. The power is effortless, just like Harley Davidson does and just like anybody else does on their big grand tours. The power feels effortless. It doesn't feel strained at all. Is it fast? No, it's not. It doesn't feel like you're gonna break your neck. Just like any big luxury vehicle, the power feels like the bike's never straining. You never feel like you're asking too much from it. That's kind of a luxury thing, I think, and I don't know if engineers design bikes specifically to feel like that, but I know that Harley Davidsons feel like that, and a lot of other big, luxurious, grand American touring bikes always feel like that to me. And when you're on a motorcycle that's on the bleeding edge and just fast as hell, it just can sometimes be a little bit of a stressful experience to ride it. I get it. Now, I don't mind it. Yeah, it's not slow. It's not what I would call slow. Now, of course, all the freaking speedy sport bike boys out there are going to go, CBRs. Okay. Yeah, there are plenty of things that are faster. I get it. But it's not slow. It just is understressed, understated. We'll call it luxurious. Now, the big difference between this Yamaha, which, like I said, I love the way this looks. The big difference between this and a Harley is you can build the Harley to the hilt, man. You can do it. It's got all the parts are out there available. All you got to do is buy them and have enough money to put them on the bike, which can sometimes be a lot of money. Well, not sometimes, usually. Horsepower definitely isn't free. Now, I will say this next part with the caveat, where there's a will, there's hours away. And if you know how to port and polish heads and grind your own proprietary cams and anything else in between, if you have a full machine shop, you can make anything fast. You could certainly make this motor faster, but is it going to be easy? No. And pretty much we can say for your normal human being to buy one of these, to upgrade it and make it faster than it comes out of the box, you're probably not going to be able to do it. You're going to throw some pipes on it, a tune on it, maybe there's a couple other things you can do, and then that's pretty much it. Anything is possible. If you're an engineer and a designer and a fabricator and have a CNC machine, anything is possible. Unlikely for your normal human being who's buying a motorcycle. Now, if that doesn't matter to you, I don't know, man. I think this is a really cool bike. It's super comfortable. It feels great. Its looks, for me, are top tier. For me, it's just really about what could have been, man. Yamaha. Dude, it's just like they were trying to copy Harley for years. It's funny because everyone always bitches about Harley being a day late and a dollar short to the custom scene. Like whatever everybody's doing in the underground and the aftermarket scene, 5 years later, Harley will start doing that. Well, the Japanese guys, basically, they're a day late and a dollar short to Harley stuff, where this feels just like a big Harley bagger, just like a big Grand Touring bike. And Harley right now is getting away from that. The new iterations of Harley's big touring bikes, they feel more like sport touring bikes than anything else. They're fast as hell. They handle like razor blades. They're smaller. This just, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like a motorcycle from a days gone by. It feels like a modern relic. Now, do I like it? Yes, I like it a lot because I like big grand touring bikes. I also like sporty touring bikes. I mean, I like bike, baby. I like them all. And I love the way this looks. I just think about what could have been. Like, put it on just a little bit of a diet, keep the same fairing, keep all these same looks, and just give me a screaming V4, man. Put a wild V4. Go after the Indian Challenger and their big horsepower touring bike. That's what I would have really loved to see Yamaha do. So this is definitely a bittersweet motorcycle for me because while I'm on it and I do like it and I'm enjoying riding it right now and it makes cool motorcycle noises, I will tell you, it's bittersweet. It makes me think about what could have been. But unfortunately, if you think Harley doesn't take chances, the big four Japanese companies, they're about as conservative as they come. They hate taking chances. Gonna make somebody an awesome motorcycle. Probably not for me, but just because it's not for me. Like, there's plenty of stuff that's not for me. God, what a good looking bike. For me. And as the naked snakes say, now for something completely different. It's a roller coaster ride at Birch Barracuda. We're going bare bones chopper, full dress tour, and back down to bare bones, but it ain't a chopper, baby. This is something that should be as illegal as most choppers are, but somehow it has a license plate and turn signals, and I love KTM for that. KTM is one of those companies that's not afraid to make a motorcycle that really shouldn't be on the street, able to be put on the street, as evidenced by my own personal KTM 300cc two-stroke by XCW, which has a legal license plate. Now this 690 is going to be a lot better on the street than my 300cc two-stroke is. I just love KTM for giving me a license plate with my 300 in case I'm out somewhere else on trails that you do actually need a license plate to be on. The fuzz can't hassle me too much. Not too much anyway. The 690 is definitely a motorcycle with a hooligan reputation. They make a supermoto version, but for me, I'd always rather have one that was a dual sport. I like the versatility of that just a little bit better. You're still going to be able to rip wheelies and do all that fun stuff on it, but you know, having the knobby tires to go off-road when you get in trouble for doing those wheelies and stoppies and everything in between, that's the kind of versatility I'm talking about. It's the ultimate getaway vehicle. I have no idea what they traded this thing in on. My gut says probably a Pan America, but there's nothing here that can compare to this motorcycle. This is unlike anything on the floor at Birch Barracuda. The Pan America would come the closest, but the Pan America is as far away from this motorcycle as that Yamaha Royal Star is from an R1. And even though I'm speaking all eloquently about this bike, I have a confession to make. I've never actually ridden one of these, and I'm very excited to. Enough yapping, let's put a couple miles on this thing. Definitely not a bike for short folks, but nowhere near as tall as an actual dirt bike. Normally I'm a two-stroke purist, but I'm pretty excited to try out KTM's big single. I've always been a fan of it. Sorry, I guess I should say I've always been a fan of the idea of it. Can't really say I'm a fan of it when I haven't put any miles on it. Maybe I'll hate it, but something tells me I'm gonna like it just fine. I think I read somewhere once these things are supposed to make like 70 horsepower or something like that. It's got to weigh under 400 pounds. And of course, saying it weighs under 400 pounds like it's something special, everyone just like, you know, laughs in R1. But I don't care, man. 70 horsepower and 300 some pounds, that makes for a fast motorcycle. I don't care who you are. I immediately love this bike. I mean, come on, baby. What's not to love? You can feel that it's a little buzzy. It seems crazy to me that it's a 700cc single cylinder. But I'll tell you, I've ridden big thumpers before, and this makes almost no vibrations at all compared to what you think it would. I'm mostly thinking about the Suzuki Savage 650, which is crazy that those are both single cylinder Japanese engines. Because yeah, it's pretty hard to mention the Suzuki Savage and this motor in the same sentence, yet there they are. It's just wild because, like, god damn, dude, I can't believe how it's not smooth. I'm saying you can feel that it's vibrating, but I can't believe how smooth they made a 700cc single cylinder engine feel. Yeah, that'll do. Brakes work. It's just wild to be on something that really physically feels a lot like being on my 300 with way less vibrations, of course, and way less noise, just a lot more mild-mannered, although making way more horsepower. It's just wild to be on something like this and just have it so easily hit 75, 80 miles an hour. My 300 is fast, but nowhere near this fast. And while this thing might have 60 or 70 pounds on my 300, it's probably got almost double the horsepower. I really like this motorcycle, man. This is the most tempted I've been in a minute on a motorcycle from Burt's. I have wanted a 690 or a 701 for a long time. You just feel like you could rip into a corner so hard. The bike can go a lot further than my skill level, that's for sure. When I'm riding this bike, I feel like I would run out of skill way before the bike ran out of ability. And while that might seem scary to some people, for me, it's actually kind of comforting. When you're on a bike that you know you can't push past its limits, it makes it just a little bit easier to explore yours. Now, that is still dangerous, but it's kind of a cool feeling. I know people go touring on these things too, and I can see it, man. This is a KLR 650 on a diet and steroids. Again, just like it feels really weird to say Suzuki Savage 650 and KTM 690 in the same sentence, it's pretty hard to say KLR 650 and KTM 690 in the same sentence. This KTM is Jose Canseco smashing home runs and doing juice in the major leagues, and the KLR 650 is hitting foul balls in the minors. They are barely playing the same game. Yeah, I like it just fine. And that's without even really trying, man. If you're good at wheelies, I'm garbage at wheelies. Just because you know how to do something doesn't make you good at it, but I wasn't even really trying to pull the front end up, man. This thing is just a hooligan machine, baby. Oh, a ramp and me on a KTM 690. All the boys there were like, is he gonna do it? Oh, funny enough, as tempted as I am by this, I have to show you this KTM with the caveat that it might indeed be gone by the time you see this. I was just talking to one of the boys here at Burt's Barracuda, and I'm not gonna rip too many wheelies on this bike because someone who watches the channel, Richard, he is actually very interested in this motorcycle. And I'm gonna tell you, Richard, you better strike while the iron's hot. I gave him a warning. I said, hey, I'm coming to test ride this bike, and the video's coming out on Sunday, so you got about 24 hours to make up your mind. So just fair warning to anyone who's watching this video, I wanted to call Burt's up about this KTM. Richard's ass might be sitting on it by the time this video comes out. Yeah, this thing is, Richard, it's pretty fun, man. I hope you buy it, man. This is a fun bike. Any motorcycle that does unintentional wheelies is a winner in my book. Whoa, okay, let's be completely honest here. Slightly unintentional wheelies. I might have been subconsciously flirting with it. What can I say? When it comes to old shade tree surgeon, sometimes I just like to poke the bear and see what happens. You know, I wasn't trying to wake it up, but I sure as hell am poking it. All right. Let me park this thing. Like I said, I am tempted. It is a very tempting motorcycle, but it's not in the cards for me. Not today. Besides, I'd have to be some kind of asshole to snipe this bike out from underneath a dues-paying cult member of Brapstar. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a cult. Not a cult member of Brapstar. Just a nice friend who likes bike. Anyway, Richard, if you end up buying this thing and you're watching this video, make sure and leave a comment down below and let everybody know whether you snagged it or not. Make sure to tag me on Instagram if you did. I'm curious to see what kind of trouble you get into on this thing, because I know I damn sure would be getting into a lot of trouble. I mean, you know, very innocent trouble, very innocent trouble. We're all members of the law-abiding citizens club here, officers. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Bert asked me where I wanted to film the intro with him, and I said, man, in front of the Model A, of course, and I forgot to actually bring up why we did it there. The gentleman who owned that Model A sadly passed away, but longtime customer of Bert's, bought a bunch of bikes from him, had a huge collection of motorcycles and cars, and he actually willed his entire estate to charity, except for a few things which he wanted Bert to buy and completely restore and keep here on the showroom floor, and the Model A was one of them. So Bert picked that up, the money from that went to charity, and he restored it, and here it sits out here. I just thought that was a really cool story, a good way to start the video, and then I forgot to say anything about it, so now I'm saying it at the end. I think it's about to do it for this one, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be doing live streams with the boys here soon. Until next time, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree, army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.